Welcome to Popular History, where we unearth the richness of the past and make it accessible for all. Today, join us as we travel back to the prudish periods of the Victorian era, or so it's commonly thought. But were the Victorians really as straight-laced about sex as many of us believe? It's high time we debunk a few salacious myths about Victorian sex lives. Victorian society is often painted with the brush of repression, cloaked in an air of moral superiority and bound by seemingly strict social etiquette. Yes, the era witnessed the enforcement of the Comstock laws and the wider moral panic around sexuality. But beneath the surface, Victorians were far more complex and, dare we say, risque than given credit for. It's a myth that Victorians were ignorant of sexuality. In fact, they were just as inquisitive and indulged as any generation. Manuals like The Joy of Sex were their forbidden fruit. Even Queen Victoria herself, an emblem of the age, had a healthy sex life and passionately loved her husband, Prince Albert. Victorian doctors used to claim that women could not experience sexual pleasure. Yet private diaries and letters bust this myth, revealing tales of romantic endeavors that would make even a modern reader blush. Brothels flourished, and contraception, although primitive, began to gain popularity among those keen to indulge without the consequence of a child. Another myth shattered is the notion that Victorians covered table legs because they were deemed too scandalous. There's no evidence to support this, and it's likely this legend was an invention of later generations trying to make sense of what seemed like an excessively prudish society. The greatest testament to the era's sexual complexity? Erotic literature and art were in full bloom, from the pages of risque novels to the secretive world of Victorian pornography. These were not just hidden under mattresses, they were consumed by a society more sexually aware than we might imagine. So, what's the result of dispelling these Victorian sex myths? It's a richer, more nuanced understanding of the past, a past that mirrors our own time more closely than we might care to admit. Just as today, the Victorian era had its public face and its private desires, proving humanity's fascination with the carnal has deep historical roots. Thank you for taking this journey into the sensual side of Victorian history with us. If you enjoyed uncovering the truth behind these myths, please show your appreciation with a like and subscribe to Popular History for more myth-busting adventures from the past. Stay curious, history lovers.